We got a UAP, y'all.
Sponsored by
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Well,
Wow.
let's go over some big facts.
Yeah.
Wow, this is freaking hell.
Hello? Well, hello. Yeah.
He's grabbing his crotch.
All right, go.
Live from the new kingdom, it's the OBDM podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Rich.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another fun-filled, fully powered podcast adventure. Hooray! My name is Midnight Mike, and Cratchit is over there on screen hitting his place. Medication is not working. 7 years.
I'll tell you what does work is I have the Generac generator in the studio running to keep Mike powered. So I got it notched out so you don't hear it, but man, does it stink in here.
That was one of the suggestions that I got on Twitter. It was like, hey, Mike, just buy a Generac for your podcast. Well, they're a little expensive.
Well, you could buy a Yamaha or Honda.
Well, here's the thing. We do have a generator here. It is one of those hybrid propane/gasoline generators. And in order for it to run properly, it's got to be hooked into our secondary fuse box. And that generator needs to be outside. And I don't have it hooked up. It's not outside all the time. I set it up in
So what you're saying is, long story short, you have a generator.
Yeah.
It's just not hooked up to anything.
Yeah, but one of those exactly. One of those automatic Generacs that kicks in like as soon as the power cut. I don't got that. I don't got that kind of scratch to install that. I'd love
It's
it.
only like $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah, but that's an extra $4,000 or $5,000 I don't have, and there's other upgrades we got to do around here, like repairing walls and steps and landscaping and all that kind of stuff. We do have a generator that I can plug in, and it will keep the heater going. It will keep the well pumping, and
That's
like the refrigerator going. So, but as for like a podcast, I'm a shit out of luck. You know?
Yeah, well pump and sump pump and heat comes before podcast.
Unfortunately, yes. Even I can't justify buying a generator that can be used dedicated for the podcast. Now, I probably could buy another battery backup, and if I reconfigure a few things here and there, I probably could keep it streaming for like 15, 20 minutes, maybe.
But you're saying the power was out until like the next day.
Yeah, it was out for close to 8 hours. So it was a big one.
You need a lot of batteries, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty good Jackery battery, and if the lines aren't cut, it can keep the internet. It can keep us connected to the internet, which is fine and dandy because we don't have phone service back here, and so our only line of communication is the internet. Since we sit so far back from other utilities, we have no cell phones around us, thank God. And yeah, it's just I'm in the middle of nowhere. Not really, but I am. But long story short, sorry people. I know a lot of people that are watching, they saw the stream cut, and then the audio podcast. I did have Cratchit and I talking because Cratchit and I were able to reconnect for about a minute or two on my battery backup, so I could tell him what was going on, and I included a little bit of that on the audio podcast. But that was it, and he let people know that hey, Mike's not dead. It's just computer's broke. Okay,
Computer's broke.
Very sleepy.
yeah. Oh boy, I am sleepy. I haven't been getting much sleep. I'm going to do my best to get through this. I think I'm being abducted by aliens every night, me and my wife, and I have no other explanation for our bad sleep. So,
Just a bunch of gang probing going
at
on.
least that would be productive. That's a good story. If it's just bad sleep, there's no story to tell. So I don't know. I'll put up a sign above my bed saying, "If you're abducting me, please let me know," which does work. So,
Please be kind and turn off the lights before you leave.
Or at least give me some sort of psychic, suggestion that gives me good sleep. Can you at least give me good sleep? If you're going to do all that probing, all the yanking, all the fluid extraction, the least you could do for a guy is give him a good night's sleep.
That's right.
Speaking of fluid extraction and probing and experiments, it is Skinwalker Ranch Recap Day.
Are they done?
The season is done. They put out a good number of episodes. They went above and beyond when it comes to the amount of content that they put out. And I will do my best to try to recap what they discovered and what I think the most interesting parts of this most recent season has been. There's quite a few of stories around Skinwalker Ranch, whole bunch of different theories ranging. I won't even get into theories. A lot of people think it's bunk, and just because it's a TV show, people think it's all staged. I would say some things are staged. Some of the actual stories are true, and obviously some of the stuff is punched up. And there are things that I think they punch up that could be easily explained. Some of the anomalies, I would say, that they're discovering, not as easy to explain, but we'll go over those. So at the end of each season of Skinwalker Ranch, at least I would say the past 3 seasons, that they'll bring everyone together. That includes the owner, Brandon Fugel, all the Skinwalker boys. They put them at this giant table, the biggest table I've ever seen. And they will present the evidence. They'll say, this is what we found. And so this year, they were focused on a couple of main issues. One was this so-called bubble, this energetic bubble that lives over a part of the ranch called the Triangle, in which this large bubble, I think maybe the diameter might be 200 meters, but it extends into the underground and then up and over this part of the Triangle into the Mesa. And they experience a lot of anomalies in this bubble area. And they claim that their lidar has captured at least a rough estimation of its total like volume and size. And they've had problems when they have a drone that is outside the bubble try to travel in. The drone will lose GPS. It will act as though it's come up against a barrier, and it's hard to fly things into the bubble and things within inside the bubble, whether it's a rocket firing or another drone or any type of electronic equipment. They tend to suffer from some sort of interference, manipulation, or things just fail in general. Not all the time, but they've had problematic experiences when it comes to running things, measuring things, getting exact data from within inside the bubble. So it's an anomaly. They don't know the source of it. They do get radiation spikes from inside the bubble. And so it is a point of interest. And they didn't really dwell on that too much when it comes to the recap. What they really focused on was the material that they found inside the Mesa, which is some weird substance. And now it's ceramic, so that's not weird. It's weird because they found it inside the Mesa, which is like through 200 feet of rock, which is not where you would expect to find fabricated ceramics. But that's where they did. And I'll play a little bit. Here's a clip from the show. I'll do my best. I can't play the video because it's very difficult to capture. And if I want to rebroadcast any of this stuff on YouTube, it'll be taken down because of content. So I will see if I can get some screen grabs, and I'll get those up on screen here so we can at least somewhat show people what's going on. Okay, I'll do my best here. Let's see here. Because some of the screen grabs are pretty interesting, like what they're talking about. They did do a lot of analysis when it comes to examining the material in like university labs using electron microscopes. taking chemical analysis. They really they went all out, Gretchen. They spent a lot of money. They got a lot of people on their side, and they seem to be generating a lot of interest from everyone. Now, for this roundtable, they got a number of different people here. It's almost like the A team of UAP guys. You got like Gary Nolan, Jay Stratton was there, a bunch of other guys. They a lot of like the UFO quote unquote insiders were at this big roundtable summit, and they were all very intrigued with what was going on. Here's a picture of the bubble that I referenced. This is just an artist's interpretation, and this is the best that they can map. This is the size of it. It's pretty much encompasses, like I said, like a 200-meter area. Anything inside of it tends to have electrical problems. There's electrical interference, and airflow moves differently inside the bubble versus outside the bubble. And they don't know the origin of the power of this bubble. Like, what is the cause of this disturbance? They don't really know. And then when it comes to the ceramics that I was talking about inside the Mesa, well, here is the clip that we'll talk about that.
Put out the most to us.
So if you look at the image, you can see what appears to be a cross-hatching pattern. And under the scanning electron microscope, there seems to be even more detail. Now, this is the interesting thing.
This is a live recording. It's been accelerated a bit. This area here was the area exposed to the electron beam for an extended time.
See how with exposure, you see the change in the surface?
Wow.
Almost instantly, you start seeing holes open up.
So what he's going over there is that they're using an electron microscope on this ceramic material. And as they use the electron microscope, shooting electrons at this thing, it becomes very porous. It's becoming very cavernous, and which is an interesting result when you shoot electrons at this ceramic stuff. But then, as he'll explain, when they shut off the electron microscope, those pores begin to fill back up again.
It's almost like if you take a really dried sponge and you put it in water. How it expands and opens up.
Wow. This is amazing.
Now, when we turn the electron beam off and let it set for several minutes, it goes back to the exact same state that it is at the beginning before exposure.
Look at that. Oh my God.
Now, since this is a reversible process, it does suggest it's a topology, a geometry that's changing on its surface. It can transform.
Wow.
I have a great deal of experience in materials characterization, and I've never seen anything like this. It's very unusual.
So their best guess is that this is some sort of superconductor. They super cooled this thing, and it did, once it got down to as cold as it could go, and it seemed to absorb not only heat but a lot of cold temperature. It took a lot of liquid nitrogen to get this thing to be cooled, and it did react to magnets, which is what, according to these guys, you would expect from a superconductor. So they found a superconductor, which is, a man-made. Currently, you can make these things, these superconductors, but they found it inside the Mesa, like 200 feet in. Now, the curious thing about that is they did, when excavating some of this material, they found a coin, I believe. A coin popped out from 1964, almost as if they had rediscovered an archaeological dig site, or someone was digging around there before. And the archaeologist they hired said, hey, oftentimes archaeologists will throw down a coin inside a dig site just as a future memo, as a future note to any future digs, to let that archaeologist know this site was already examined at that date. And so apparently someone from in the 1964, 1965 may have already dug through that site And they're just rediscovering all this weird ceramic material decades later. Now, that's probably one of the most, and we'll come back to that in a second. But this is what they were spending much of their time on, was this ceramic stuff. It's probably the first piece of real physical evidence that something had happened there, some kind of constructed or manufactured object is inside the Mesa. It's an anomaly, probably shouldn't be there. It does react and perform like a superconductor, which is not what you'd really expect, but there it is. And it got some people there pretty excited. Now, they have teamed up. You know, the guy who owns Skinwalker Ranch, Brandon Fugel, he's got a lot of money. Takes a lot of money to run Skinwalker Ranch, and this guy's got it. And I think they are teaming up with various different entities. So over the past few years, they've had various flyovers of the ranch, ranging from large helicopters. You got Blackhawks have been seen go over the ranch, fairly low altitude. You've had airplanes, like big, like C-130s that are flying low and slow with some kind of equipment on the back of it. Large, I think, Chinooks were flying, also carrying equipment. So various military flyovers that they couldn't track back to a source. So whatever is going on there, somebody in the military seems to be interested in what they are doing. And now the owner of Skinwalker Ranch has teamed up with a satellite company. And I'll bring this guy's image up on screen. Remarkably, the guy who runs the satellite company kind of looks like Gary Busey. Cratchit, am I wrong? He kind of looks like Gary Busey. And that's just kind of what I'm going with here. So this guy, Chad Brinkley, he is, I guess, he operates a company that can get satellites in space. And so now they're going to put a satellite in space just to, I think one of its core missions is to look at Skinwalker Ranch at least once a day from a satellite. And here's that piece of audio.
We have engaged with...
I'm sorry, what's that, Gretchen?
Who he does look like is Brian Thompson.
Brian Thompson? Who's Brian Thompson?
He, oddly enough, played one of the alien bounty hunters on the X-Files.
How about that? I got a Gary Busey vibe off this guy, but okay. But
maybe if I saw video of it, you'd just have a stills.
Yeah.
We have engaged with a sister company to Omnitech, a sister company who is a SpaceX integrator.
Oh, really?
That will aid us in our investigation and take this research to the next level. This
next
coming
level.
year, we'll place a satellite in orbit, a satellite that will specifically focus on the ranch and take our investigation to the next level. So with that, I'd like to introduce Chad Brinkley, the CEO of CEOPS in...
Let's go.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, Brandon.
Welcome.
Thank you, Brandon, for having me. Gentlemen?
Now, this is pretty awesome. Ranch owner Brandon Fugel, Jim Royston, Sam Dariso, and their colleagues at Omnitech have arranged with a space exploration company known as CEOPS for a satellite to be launched into orbit on one of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets in the coming months.
That's crazy,
and it's going to be dedicated to helping us in our investigation on Skinwalker Ranch.
I got the call from Brandon and Jim on this exciting opportunity to fly a satellite to space under a very aggressive timeline.
Yes. From space to ground and air, we have a capability to push data up, pull data down. That's our goal.
Yes. So this is a Skinwalker Ranch satellite. This will be a 6U spacecraft. While small, you can put a lot of capability in a 6U spacecraft.
A 6U CubeSat is a class of miniaturized satellites. These compact units are designed to carry various instruments, cameras, and other space-related technologies.
over the next several months, we will put together what each component we could squeeze onto this thing and have mission success with.
Pretty amazing.
We've detected so many strange energy signals, anomalies, and even UAPs between 30 feet and 10,000 feet in the air. But using rockets, drones, and helicopters to try and pinpoint where they're coming from is very limited. Having a 6U satellite in space that will pass over Skinwalker Ranch once every day will give our team incredible capabilities to search for the source of all the phenomena that we keep encountering on the ranch.
I'll pause right there. So they're investing some obviously a lot of time, money, and effort to do this. If it was just for show, I mean, they could be lying about launching a satellite and having it up there to be used for Skinwalker Ranch. But if it is going over Skinwalker Ranch, I suspect that if they're gathering any data, that data is also being funneled off to the military. Someone, it's not going to be proprietary to the owner of Skinwalker Ranch and the team down there. It's going to be siphoned off and looked at by the Pentagon, the military. Since they've already been doing flyovers, why wouldn't they just gobble that data off the satellite at that point? And all this goes back to that archaeological dig site from the 1960s where they found that ceramic. I think it all goes back to that. And so I'll play just a little clip. This is from the dig and what they were talking about when it comes to what they're finding and the time frame of that dig of finding that ceramic material or the superconductors.
It was an excavation or an archaeological dig of some sort. And so we thought, well, if we go back and look through archival images, maybe we could see actual evidence of some kind of dig.
Yeah, so I've got the historic aerial photos from the early 60s, 1961, 1963, and then there's a gap until 1969.
Really? Wow. Yeah, there's no available images from 63 to 69. Is that not fascinating?
That's a coincidence on the timing, isn't it?
Why would there be missing photos from 1964, which is the same year as the nickel we found, and then all the way up through 1968? Was it a clerical error, or was it done on purpose? The photos of the Mesa from 1961, 1963, and 1969 look almost identical to the naked eye, but I wanted to make sure they weren't doctored in some way. So I used an AI program to look for any evidence of artificial changes in them. Well, let me show you what happens when we compare the 61 and 63 image to the 69 image. Eric, you want to bring up my analysis that I did?
And so what they did find is like there was some smudging in the 69 image. So there's like a gap of years where there are no aerial photographs, and then the one from 69, there was some smudging as if it was doctored in some way to cover something up. And so I guess you would also have to have some resources. Like they said, it could be clerical error that they couldn't find. They could find every other year besides that gap of time period where just coincidentally that's where they found the nickel from the year where there was possibly an archaeological dig next to the superconductor material. But it's probably not coincidence. They probably a group of people with financial resources, probably the military or somebody related to the military contractor. They were there at that site on Skinwalker Ranch and were recovering something, did their best to recover something and take it away, and there were some pieces left behind, and someone just left a nickel there just because, hey, why not? Or something or something materialized inside the Mesa, and it was left there. But that doesn't really explain the nickel. So something must have crashed there, and they tried to excavate it. In the 1960s, Cratchit, we're talking about from 63 to 69. And that's really what they were focusing on for the recap. And that was pretty much a majority of the recap for Skinwalker Ranch. I would say the season, by and large, was padded full of a lot of stuff. It's a hit series on on the History Channel, so they're really trying to milk it as much as they can. This thing is just doing great ratings. If my mom's watching it, it's doing good ratings. Okay, so they're really milking this thing. So, but that's it. You have any questions? Can I answer any questions for you, anybody, on this most recent season? Because I will be more than happy to right now.
I want to know what they found.
A superconductor, most likely.
That they made by cooling shit, which you can do right now. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. You can make that stuff right now, but we're talking about
they found some sort of rock striation, and then as you described it, they then cooled it with liquid nitrogen, thus creating the superconductor. So
well, they said what was not mentioned in those clips is that this was the ceramic material was layered in a way, it had elements, various different types of like manufactured material, like aluminum, like nickel, some like iridium, some very weird stuff that wouldn't be, according to these guys, naturally occurring in that Mesa, in that particular part of the country. It does look manufactured. Everyone they took it to says it does look like it's a manufactured piece of something. And it does, according to them, behave like a superconductor. It's just like a piece of evidence. Now they're going to stop drilling and they're going to move to an archaeological dig site. So they got an archaeologist and he's got a cool hat. And so they're going to ask him to start excavating and removing more of this material, hopefully bigger chunks of this stuff, in order to really figure out what is in there. Now, I did just a little bit of research to find out, what else was going on that had a large military presence that requires secrecy of possible, let's say, test flight of stuff in the 60s. And all signs point to what is going on. What they found in the Mesa is related to the Kecksburg UFO incident in 1965. So the Kecksburg UFO incident it took place in December of 1965, where witnesses reported a fireball streaking across the sky, followed by a metallic acorn-shaped object that crashed in a wooded area in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. The witnesses approached this acorn-shaped object, and they said, well, this thing had various weird markings on the side of it, and that it didn't look like it could have been Greek. It could have been Japanese. It was some weird stuff. As they were examining the stuff, well, all of a sudden, the military showed up. Quasi kind of men in black came. They cordoned off the area. They told the locals to get the heck out of there. They got the acorn and they put it on a flatbed truck and they got the hell out of there of Kecksburg. And that was in the 1965. So that falls right in line. If the military was testing something and it got out of control, which apparently in the Kecksburg UFO incident, it was out of control. It crashed. Then the military was ready to respond and to take it out of there. And that's what exactly that they did. Now, if they wound up testing it again, or they tested an earlier iteration of it, maybe it also went out of control and it crashed at Skinwalker Ranch in the 60s. It's the same time frame. And that one maybe fell to pieces, and they did their best to get all the pieces that they could, but they couldn't gather everything. Now, a lot of people speculate that the Kecksburg UFO event is really just a reimagining or a reboot of the Nazi Bell Project that was taken out of Nazi Germany and ported it over here to the United States, and we took back up that research and started testing it, and some of that stuff just went crazy. Some of it crashed, some of it didn't. But the timeline kind of matches up. And when it comes to military responses in force having the capability to retrieve or cover up things like photographs, aerial photographs, it does look like both the Kecksburg has that response and what they were digging out of Skinwalker Ranch and what they rediscovered from the 1960s. I mean, that's my theory. So that's my best guess.
It's better than anything they came up with on the show.
Yeah, and I can't believe that they wouldn't speculate on that. Like this is like most likely what they are rediscovering is advanced technology at the time from the 1960s of a military experiment that went awry or crashed. And that's why they're getting military flyovers for like quite frequently to see, hey, are they sniffing a little too close to maybe a debris field that we didn't get everything from? And they want to make sure that if they discover something, they beat them to the punch, or they don't collect enough data. And this is as much about protecting national security in like UFO technology than it is about discovering a true, alien intelligence or interdimensional beings or anything like that. It's about protecting national security at this point, and maybe technology that the military has had for a very long time. So that's my best guess, and I think it's probably fairly right on. That's what I got, Cratchit. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to move on to some other articles so we can get to.
Well, my only other question is: are they back next year for more?
Oh, of course. I mean, this is a hit show, Cratchit.
All right. Well,
they got a lot of things left to investigate, a lot of things to do, a lot of money to burn.
All right, I think I'm going to put a rocket up through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love dudes with thick accents talking nonsense.
Yeah.
UAP right there. That is weird. We got a UAP, y'all.
Hey, remember that time they got 3 episodes out of one of the dude dropping his phone?
Well, they do have phone problems. There's no denying that they have big time phone problems, and they've had some security breaches on their local networks. I didn't even get a chance to get into that. They do have a lot of electronic anomalies, and they can't quite pinpoint the origin or the reason, the motive behind it. But they are experiencing some I would say, electronic warfare.
That is weird.
So, but we'll move on, and I got some more disturbing military stuff, okay?
Disturbing?
I've had it up to here.
Yeah, this is disturbing military stuff. You've probably heard of this.
Well, I don't know what it is. So
but you've probably heard of this. And here's the headline here. Mystery fog sprayed on U.S. cities in the 1950s linked to secret Army project.
Oh, they just dumped this crap on the Bay Area in the 50s, yeah.
Well, you remember at the end of last year, there was this brief period of time where there was a strange fog reported all across the United States and in parts of the U.S. where there's not typically fog. Well,
that was all smoke from the Canadian forest fires, from the arson, the what do you call it, the eco warriors committing arson up there.
Maybe some of it, but not down in Florida. There were some reports down in Florida where that.
Florida gets fog all the time.
Does it really?
I'm upset by this.
Well, okay. Well, 70 years ago, neighborhoods in several big cities were sprayed with a mysterious chemical compound. The experiment, which took place in parts of St. Louis, Missouri, Fort Wayne, Indiana, as well as several other cities in both the United States and Canada, created a thick, foul-smelling chemical. That was a fog that residents reported had stuck to their skin, coated roads and rooftops, and had made children sick. That's crazy.
Yeah, but, chemtrails is ridiculous.
That's far-fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is weird.
The purpose of the experiment was to study how chemical weapons might spread through Soviet cities during the Cold War. Then why don't you experiment on the Soviets? Stop it on us.
Go start a chemical war and see what happens.
Yeah, go use it on them. Stop it on us. The purpose was to experiment to study the how chemical weapons might spread through Soviet cities during the Cold War, while the chemicals used were supposed to be harmless. It turned out that this was definitely not the case. The spray contained zinc cadmium sulfide, a powder known to cause cancer. The Army had maintained that the amounts used were low enough to not cause harm, but a key report detailing the health risks from the experiment later went missing, leaving doubts over whether the Army was aware that what they were doing was harmful to the local residents. They knew what they were doing.
What the hell?
Well, or at least they became aware of what they were doing and decided to just shred that report.
Well, or this was the mid-1950s. There was a lot of advances in technologies and in science, and this is, as they said in Mystery Science Theater 3000, this is back when science didn't have to have any specific purpose.
It was just science for the sake of fun science.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see what we
Try
can
that.
do. Yeah. It's kind of like what the Nazis did. Let's stab that guy in the stomach and see how long it takes for him to die. Because we want to know for the battlefield. And so that's what they did. Well, in the years later, people who actually lived in these areas at the time would come forward to tell how they and their family members had suffered from a disproportionate number of health complications, in particular from various types of cancers and respiratory diseases. Quote, they didn't ask our permission, said former Prudent Igor resident Cecil Hughes. They didn't ask for them to spray us. My government used me like I was a guinea pig. Another former resident, James Cadwell, described suffering from a rare form of lymphoma. Quote, you couldn't even see through it. It was that thick, and it would just adhere to our skin. Oh, my God. Can you imagine trying to, breathing that stuff in? It would just adhere to your lungs.
It's like 4 inches thick.
It's like 4 inches thick. Where's my 4 inches thick? I don't even know if I got that.
Shout out.
No, it's not that. I was trying to.
It's only 5 to 7 kilometers thick.
No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted 4 inches thick, but I don't even know if I can get to that right now. I think I moved it.
Okay.
Let's see here. And as far as the guys on top of the building, they tried to portray them to us as maintenance workers. But what are the maintenance workers doing in hazmat suits? They had masks and goggles. Yeah, they had masks and goggles, but to hell with all the residents and citizens down there. Just let them breathe this stuff in.
Fuck them.
Sadly, however, despite official admissions that the spraying took place, no definitive case has ever been brought against those responsible for the harm it caused. So no one's been sued yet? I can't believe that. There's been no compensation for this experiment.
It's bullshit.
So they did do a full study on this in 1997. Looks like it's 400 pages long if you want to read it.
Yeah, it sounds like good bedtime material. I'll read that when I'm ready for bed. I'll read it to my wife as a bedtime story.
Oh, you can buy a paperback version. You want that? The PDF's free, but if you want to buy a printed copy,
that'd be nice. It's a nice stocking stuffer for people.
That's a nice gift. That's a gift that people can enjoy.
I'll give that to my young niece. Yes, they want Taylor Swift's T-shirts, but no, here's a full hard copy of
You're
the
gonna be
report.
that uncle, huh? Here's some socks and a 40-year-old study of the government trying to kill you.
Merry Christmas.
Let's see. Was there any fallout from this? Let's see.
Yes.
There's got to be.
After an exhaustive independent review requested by Congress, we have found no evidence that exposure to zinc cadmium sulfide at these levels could cause people to become sick.
Sue everybody.
However, they did reprimand the Army for literally using the country as an experimental laboratory.
Punitive damages here.
They did. Okay, so they got reprimanded. Don't do that again, Army. Do not do that again.
Well, also keep in mind this took place starting in 1953. So So earlier, 1957 specific test, and this report was 1940 or 1997, so 40 years later, which means anyone involved had long since retired.
I
don't know about this.
The test I was referring to was September 1950. They did simulated gas attacks upon the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, nice.
To see what would happen, like if an offshore enemy vessel was shelling the city. And so they just dumped crap like this into the city. Like,
good. Oh, good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
in addition, the Army also admitted to spraying various locations in Minnesota from 1953 into the mid 1960s, like just for fun.
No.
Yeah, that's
what do you guys
great,
want to do
isn't
this
it?
weekend?
I feel like
Go back
spraying
up
the
to Minnesota.
populace. I want to spray the citizens with sticky substances while I wear a hazmat suit and goggles. That's fun.
Good luck. Doesn't bother me.
Interesting. In St. Louis, in specific, and your story mentioned the people on the rooftops. This was not an aerial bombardment. They went up on the roofs and just sprayed it down onto people.
Like using super soakers.
Just says motorized blowers.
Oh my god!
Which I'm guessing was basically like if you ever seen a snow machine.
Yeah,
pretty sure that's what they were doing on the roof.
It's like almost like those fog machines they used to get rid of mosquitoes. They put it on the back of trucks, and as a kid, you get on your BMX bike and ride behind those trucks because you want to.
Talking about DDT?
Yeah, I think so.
What is that?
Well, there is your military fog story. Make you feel good. So
I'm super comforted.
So when it comes to like crazy, wacky military experiments, 1950s spraying fog, not that far of a leap that they would be experimenting with Nazi Bell technology in the early to mid 60s. Some of those may have crashed, and they had to cover that up. And maybe some of those Nazi bells are still in, or at least the ideas, the technology is still in use today. I suspect so. All right, Cretchen, we didn't do any fun, weird, wacky news. We didn't get a chance to. Are you ready to get going on this?
Well, I'm going to say before you do that, let's, you want to open up the phone lines?
Sure. We can go ahead and open up the phone lines for people. Take a few phone calls here. Let me.
You're going to need to roll that image feed.
Oh, is it stuck? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. There's me in the dark. I look like I could be a Unabomber.
Well, that's what it looked like after you reconnected.
I'm glad you have that because people on YouTube, they didn't get a video. I couldn't update it because the local file I had corrupted. So I used to record locally, and the audio got saved, the video got corrupted. So I will be uploading that once I fix it, probably tonight or tomorrow morning. And so we'll see if we can get that out there for people on YouTube for some reason. I don't know if people still watch it on YouTube.
They do, yeah. People love the YouTube.
Yeah, I get it. They're locked in.
They're locked in.
Oh, we got a caller already.
Before we even get the number.
I know. Caller, are you there? Hello?
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 Hello? Just my...
1 second. I'm trying to pump up your volume real quick. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Yeah, this is Mike and Cretchen. Who are we talking to? Yes?
This is Selvo.
Hey, what's going on, man? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from northern Minnesota,
Oh, boy.
International Falls.
Oh, yeah. What's on your mind?
Army's up there spraying people.
You were talking about the ceramic material found, and that's immediately what I thought of was Kecksburg, too.
Yeah.
Because Kecksburg, and one of the stories about the Nazi bell is that they used ceramics to shield the bell itself. And inside those chambers, they had victims or people in there that they exposed to it, and they had psychological effects too. And since the ranch has psychological effects, maybe this is part of the shielding that they used to experiment with the bell.
I think that there's some connection. There's some connection between the Nazi bell, Nazi technology, and the ranch. And like right now, the ranch, it could be just what they're measuring is like residual effects or after effects of previous experiments. And so it basically functions as a psychological operation at this point. And they're just kind of measuring, the government, whoever is aware of this project and past projects, they're just measuring the response of how people are feeling on the ranch at this point.
Yeah, just kind of observing the lab rats.
Yeah.
Observing the lab rats.
Yeah.
Another thing I was thinking too was what would happen if they, had contaminated those ceramics from experimentation and then just illegally dumped them into that area, and that was the reason why they told everybody who had the property, hey, don't dig there.
I think maybe that's a possibility because everyone who has been an owner of the property has basically been told don't dig on the property, and when things start happening on the property, it's usually after they start manipulating the property, start digging somewhere, and so that could be it. They could have blanketed the entire area over there with a bunch of contaminated material, obviously, yeah. And they do get weird radiation spikes there. They have weird gamma ray bursts, but it's hard to know if that is a true radiation spike or if it's a fault with the detectors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, that's all I got to say.
Well, I appreciate it. Good thoughts there, my friend. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
You too. Blow me up.
I didn't get the. He was in there right away. So there's the.
Let's go ahead and take the phone calls.
Take a few more phone calls before we move over to strange and wacky, funny news. We the Cretched Crevice news segment.
Hello!
Yeah, that's is it Uncle Leo? I think that's his name.
Yes, that's Uncle Leo.
Uncle Leo, yes.
Hello!
Yeah, I think the number is up on screen. 513-461-2175. And while we were just talking about Skinwalker Ranch, one of the things that I did like about the Hunt for Skinwalker Ranch book is like towards the end, kind of buried deep, they did contract remote viewers on the contracting to look at Skinwalker Ranch to see what they potentially could find. And they sent something that was metallic below the surface. And when it comes to like, we just talked about don't dig, like there's something maybe blanketed there, or they just disposed of contaminated material there. That's quite possibly the reason. They were doing some high-tech experiments at the time, maybe even high-tech for what we know. And they used it as a testing ground and a dumping site. It's not unheard of that the military would do something like that. Let's see here.
No, the military would never do that.
I know, Cretched. I know. After we just got done talking about a story of how they sprayed goo on everyone. Basically,
they went door to door ringing doorbells, and as soon as you opened the door, they just sprayed you with goo.
I'm trying to see here. Like, I'm just looking up the Skinwalker Ranch remote viewer finds. I'm just going to take a look because I did ask ChatGPT like a question. It's like give me your best 3 theories in regards to Skinwalker Ranch, given what they talked about on the TV show and then the Hunt for Skinwalker Ranch book. And it gave me this. These are the top 3 theories. Number 1, interdimensional portal hypothesis. He's like, from
that one.
From the book, Bradshaw and Dongo concludes that something there has ripped open the fabric of reality, allowing entities and energies to slip in and out of our world. The National Institute of Discovery scientists also explored whether wormholes or stargates could account for some phenomenon on Skinwalker Ranch. And from the TV show, the team repeatedly found anomalies in aerial surveys
Yeah, they kept finding things up off the ground, but then they would like shoot a rocket at it and then talk about their cell phones again.
Yeah, they. I think you're dwelling too much on the cell phones, but they are finding weird GPS anomalies that should not be there. And even remote viewer Ingo Swan had sessions that described UFOs and entities that phase shift into different states of matter and space. Remote viewers reported perceptions of tunnels or gateways under the Mesa, consistent with Hopi Navajo tradition. So I like the interdimensional theory right there that ChatGPT came up with. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, just calling in to say I love the show. It's been great, even though Joe hasn't been on. I know everybody misses him. But
he does, yeah.
I love Cratch's segments when he brings up the stories that I always tell everybody, like, can you believe this is a new story? And then I tell him, like, nah. Like, remember that, what was it, the liquid death diaper? Whoo!
Yeah, and I think they sold out of that stuff.
I'm wearing mine now.
Man, that was a good story. But just calling in and say hi, man. Calling in from Compton, and show's great.
Calling in from, what's your name again? I know you've called in before.
Yeah, this is my second time calling in. My name's Ismael.
All right. Your next call, you get a G.I. Joe name. And how old are you? Do you know G.I. Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I never really watched it like that, but I know G.I. Joe.
Okay. Yeah, you don't got to watch it. At least you know about it. You'll get a cool name, okay?
Sounds great, man. I appreciate the show, man. Love it.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. Bye.
All right, see you guys.
Ishmael's big in the Twitch chat. He's in there all the time.
Oh, Ishmael.
Yeah.
And number two that ChatGPT came up with for theories to explain Skinwalker Ranch. Number two is consciousness, trickster, intelligence.
Trickster intelligence.
Yeah, so the phenomenon thrives on terror and confusion.
Both of these are better than the stuff they come up with on the show, by the way.
Well, they don't really even come up with theories in the show.
I know they don't. That's my frustration.
Me too. I was like, they're not thinking outside the box too much. They're relying too much on like standard science. They need to start thinking out of the box and collecting data on that. And then when all else fails, they put a rocket up through there.
All right, I think I'm going to put a rocket up through there.
And that's what they rely on.
That dude says that at dinner.
Yeah.
UAP right there.
Why, when they see that, when they call it out, UAP right there, and they're all excited, why isn't that immediately followed by a shotgun blast?
We got a UAP, y'all.
I mean, these UAPs move pretty fast, Gretchen. So unless you're really good at skeet shooting, there's no way you're going to hit a UAP with your shotgun. No matter how many blasts you fire with your shotgun.
Fired 2 blasts outside the house.
So
you could at least try.
Yeah. So when it comes to the trickster intelligence, remote viewers reported that the ranch was an active site where non-human intelligence used psychological operations to manipulate human perception. This also echoes Ingo Swan's account of ET aware of being physically observed, suggesting that there's a feedback loop between human attention, our perception, and the phenomenon itself. And then the third theory that ChatGPT came up with is covert military experiment. And that, at least from the book, military personnel have been seen near the ranch, raising suspicions of being monitored and or experimenting with advanced tech, ranging from holograms, direct energy weapons, to mind control research. Yet in the book, The Hunt for Skinwalker, the book stresses many events such as intelligent orbs that vaporize dogs seem to be beyond military capacity or capability, but we don't know what the military does have. So we only know what conventional weapons they have. But
they also have goose spray they could be using.
They spray goo. Who knew they had weaponized goo? But back in the 50s, they did. They had weaponized goo. And so those are the three main theories when it comes to Skinwalker Ranch. When it comes
I like
to
the
ChatGPT.
portal one the best.
Me too. I like it. It's interesting. It collides a couple of different of like the paranormal versus hard science. When science is now speculating wormholes are a thing. They are possible. They may be naturally occurring, and that Skinwalker Ranch might be one of those areas. They just don't know how to directly interact with it yet. And it does seem, though, as that bubble is over the ranch, it does seem like when they interact with that bubble, it seems to mirror back what the humans are doing. So as they fly a drone through, a UAP will be spotted. As they do something, it's almost like a call and response. As the humans do something, the things, the bubble, whatever's being observed in there, it responds back in some way. And if I had to guess what that bubble is about, I think it might be some automated process where if
like a defense mechanism or something.
I think it's actually kind of like a sentry where if you approach it with the right hailing frequency, you'll be brought in.
And then it tells you have 20 seconds to comply.
Something like that. If you approach the bubble with the right hailing frequency, a
hailing frequency is open.
You will be basically granted access to the portal, and then you'll be brought in. It's almost like a Star Dock, where the USS Enterprise approaches Star
Those
Dock.
guys just had little remote garage door openers.
But a tractor beam will be placed on you, and you'll be brought into the portal. It's almost kind of like a welcome wagon. The doors open, please enter. Almost kind of like an escalator. And
an escalator?
Well, or some sort of automated process to bring you through the wormhole. But you have to approach with the right
like a moving
frequency.
sidewalk.
Yeah, like a moving sidewalk kind of thing, but in the air.
A flying moving sidewalk.
Correct, yes.
Now, if they could find that on Skinwalker Ranch.
Maybe that's next season.
So what you're saying is if they had the right frequency, if they knew how to deliberately communicate with the anomalies they're discovering off the ground, then they would be able to get the portal open, or they would get pulled into the portal.
I believe so. That is my contention. Yes.
That's also a far better theory than anything they have on that show.
I know. I should be out there. Me and Mick West should be out there.
Why aren't you on this show?
I don't think they really want answers.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there.
I don't think. I think there's too much money to be made with no answers.
Now, Mike, if you could reinterpret your theory that you just presented, but explain it over the next 9 years, about 4 seconds at a time, then I think we got something.
Yeah. Well,
you gave it all away in one shot.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with this podcast. You got to do like a serial podcast where you just give little tidbits at a time, like stay tuned for next time, and have people sign up for something.
And we'll reveal the next part after 3 more commercials.
But I do have right now what the remote viewers found at Skinwalker Ranch. It won't take very long. It's like just 3 different interpretations of what the remote viewers found.
Okay.
And so, real quick before we move on to silly news, the first remote viewer, they were looking at the ranch. One remote viewer described the mapping of the ranch as the most uncannily accurate remote viewer alive today. So that's what the remote viewer, and a former government employee was asked to target the site blind, so he had no idea what he was looking at. He produced a nearly exact sketch of the ranch, including a canal, the ridge, and individual homesteads, which exist on the ranch. He identified a spot on the southwest portion of the property that harbored a disturbing energy. Now, a second remote viewer independently honed into the middle of the homestead, where he described it as the center of a weird energy vortices consistent with physical events reported in the book. So whether it's poltergeists, strange orbs, orbs that will vaporize dogs, or orbs or various entities that will move cattle from one place to another, physical interactions. And then another prominent remote viewer a retired military officer. He was tasked to look at the cattle mutilations that were taking place on the ranch itself. He reported that he was perceiving a robotic drone that carried out the act. He described the drone as possibly of interdimensional origin, but with some connection to the military. Take that for what you will. Interdimensional military drones doing cattle mutilations on Skinwalker Ranch. So that's what the remote viewers are saying. So, okay, I'll take it. At least it's something to go on.
It's at least it's something there. Yeah.
All right, Gretchen, let's get over to you and see what you got. Come on.
Let's see. Let's start with the biggest news of the past, probably week and a half, I think, since this broke.
Big news.
Let's see. It said, what's the date on this one? Just says 1 week. When was this? August 26th. The biggest news of the past almost 2 weeks. People talking nonstop about this.
Okay.
It's interrupting all sorts of other major events. And it is just top of the headlines. I figure it's worth bringing up.
Okay.
Now for today's news.
Yeah, in fact, President Biden came right back out and did his own press conference, even though he's not president.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while, but he wanted to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Chihuahua.
I haven't played a Chihuahua in a while, that's for sure.
So I'm on vacation in Chihuahua.
All right. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Most people don't care at all about Taylor Swift and Travis, what's his name, Kelsey's engagement. Yeah. Who cares about
No one
Who
gives a shit.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, because there were a bunch of viral clips going around of women freaking out over this engagement. I mean, hell, Sam played one on the show, or
on Doomscrolling.
Yeah, on Doomscrolling. I think he played one, or like we were commenting on one where Tim Dillon was reacted to this, and it's like, yeah, who gives a crap? But it's hard to tell if those people reacting to this were manufactured or not.
I think a lot of it was. They really try to get it out there.
Yeah, like Taylor has like such a strong PR team that they want this to go viral, but really no one cares.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
Ever since Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's announcement of their pending nuptials on Instagram last week. Oh, they announced it on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, okay, great.
The pair's engagement has been the biggest story in the world. Wow.
Has it, though?
Yeah.
Has it?
Yet a vast majority of Americans, a full 78%, say they don't care at all about Taylor or Travis's new relationship status, according to a Yahoo YouGov poll. Yeah, I don't really care.
Huh.
The survey of almost 1,700 U.S. adults, which was conducted from August 29th to September 2nd, found just 4% of respondents saying they care a lot about the engagement. The remaining 18%, they said they care a little.
Huh.
It's funny. We were just talking about Faith No More last show, and here we have We Care a Lot.
They care a lot about this.
Faith No More does anyway.
Yeah. It's a surprising level of indifference to what has been, by any measure, a major pop culture moment.
Has it been, though?
I don't know that it has.
Wow, that's a big story.
I don't think
someone needs to ask Trump about this at the next press conference.
Yeah,
interrupt him and just ask him his thoughts on Taylor Swift and some dude. Whatever.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
The betrothed of America's dominant singer-songwriter to one of its most famous football players, the ring has been scrutinized. So has Swift's song. Celebrities have reacted. Even President Trump weighed in.
Did he?
He did weigh in.
Oh, crap. What did he say? I don't have it.
What did he say?
Trump.
We got a lot of milk.
That was his comment.
That was his, okay. I'll take that one. At least it's something America focused. Let me see. There is a link to it in the article. Let's see.
No, there's not. That's a fake
it's a fake link?
Yeah. It's a link, but it doesn't go where you think it would.
Oh, well.
What? By the way, I've noticed this recently in the last, 5-10 years maybe, but online articles who will do that. They will reference something, but it doesn't go to what they're actually referencing. It will be like to an internal search within their content management system or to the general topic. So they'll highlight that because it says President Trump, and you click that and it just gives you anything related to President Trump. What use is that?
This is a common thing in a lot of UK websites, like whether it's the Sun or the Daily Mail. They'll do internal links back to their shitty articles, and you never find what you're looking for.
Huh.
All right, here's video, in fact.
Oh,
a
good.
Multimedia presentation of the Trump comment.
Trump being asked about this. Okay.
And, by the way, note how many layers deep we are in this. We are getting this from the MSNBC TikTok account.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Let me see if I can bring this up, because Trump,
Travis Kelce.
he looks very concerned. His face is very concerned about this. He's thinking, should I talk about this or bombing 11 people on a boat?
He's like, I wonder if we can get any more of that Army goo spray.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged, and the world
Come
wants to
on,
react.
stop. I hate TikTok because it just starts autoplaying, and here we go.
Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged, and the world wants your reaction, sir.
Well, I wish him a lot of luck. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great guy, and I think that she's a terrific person. So I wish them a lot of luck.
Okay.
I just wish her well, frankly.
Okay. That's
what
what he
do they
said.
expect him to say?
This
Hey,
is the
two people
last
you don't
thing,
give
by
a
the
shit
way,
about are getting married. What do you think?
I don't know. Send him a wedding gift at this point. I guess where are they registered? Macy's, probably.
Target.
Yeah.
Do they have a registry at Target?
Now that's like where she can get a lot of bucks if she wants to make even more money, and she's probably already a billionaire.
I think they need money.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to sell out hard and get a registration at Macy's.
Oh, okay. You're saying that as part of the announcement, they should have had a link to a sponsored registry at some major retailer.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Regeneron.
Well, candlesticks are always a nice gift.
People like candle, Yankee Candle. People think about a leather scented candle when you send it to Taylor and Travis. Let's see here. Perhaps because of this relative disinterest, most Americans are reluctant to judge Swift and Kelce's relationship. When offered the opinion, few say that Taylor Swift could do better than Travis, 3%, or that Travis could do better than Taylor, 4%. More say Taylor and Travis are good for each other, 23%. But most defer selecting, it's not for me to say. 60% say, 60% of Americans say, it's not for me to judge this. So that's good. It's none of your concern about their love for each other.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Whatever.
We've already spent a lot of time on this crap. Yeah, we did. This is a topic I never thought we'd talk about, but here we are.
Hey, you never know what's going to get found deep down there in the crevice.
I know. Do you want to marry Travis?
No!
Okay. Do you want to marry Taylor Swift?
She was vehement about that.
To.
Okay. She wants to marry Taylor over Travis. Okay. But we're going to move on here into another story. How about that?
I've had it up to here.
So here's some doom scrolling, or rather some news about the act of doom scrolling.
Oh, boy.
And which is not a healthy thing, because where most people are doom scrolling is exactly where you think they are when they're doom scrolling.
Let me guess. On the toilet. I'm going to guess on the toilet.
On the turlet.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Using the phone while you poop greatly raises hemorrhoid risk, new study says.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long session of doom scrolling if you got to.
I'm in here, still in here.
The shower, it's the sink, and you know the third element in the bathroom. But I don't say it, because every time I say it, they only talk about that.
Go ahead, say it.
Because it's sort of gross to talk about, right? So I won't talk about the fact that people have to flush their toilet 15 times. Okay. I will not talk about it. Sinks, right? Showers. And what goes with a sink and a shower? 10 times, right? 10 times. Wow.
Crowd just all
Not me,
responded,
of course,
toilet.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. We won't talk about toilets, but you know that's 10, 15, but we don't talk about that. Because I've said this 3 or 4 times, the only subject they ever talk about is toilets.
Well, yes, there's a problem with toilets.
There's not a problem with toilets. It's a problem with people doom scrolling while they're on the toilet.
There is nothing like shutting the bathroom door, maybe even locking it and hiding away from one's family, even just for a few minutes.
Huh.
The toilet has long been a sanctuary to catch up on some light reading. Well, has it long been? Maybe. You know, people take a book in there, a magazine possibly.
Used to be the newspaper.
Yeah, it used to be the newspaper. Exactly right.
Remember newspapers?
Yeah, I do remember those.
For our younger listeners, a newspaper is where they would literally print out the news stories from yesterday on big sheets of paper, and they would bring it to your house every morning by the neighbor's 8-year-old kid.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, but the toilet has long been a sanctuary to catch up on some light reading and for the harried parent. I guess so. A spot for some...
I don't have it open, but let's see what the word is.
A spot for some rare me time. But the amount of toilet time has become a more pressing medical issue as people shift from reading physical books and magazines to endlessly scrolling on their smartphones. Well, you can stand up every now and again, stretch your legs, and then go back down.
You need your Apple Watch to tell you it's time to stand, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let me stand up there. There we go.
And I'm back down.
Back down. More scrolling. Ugh.
There are consequences to sitting longer than we're used to on the toilet. Well, maybe it's not a problem with scrolling. It's a problem with evolution. This is going to trigger an evolution in our butts to prepare us.
Our butts. People
are reporting a higher rate of hemorrhoids when they bring their smartphones to the bathroom, according to a new study. Yeah. Okay.
I also like that people take their smartphones into the bathrooms where they are doom scrolling for 20, 30, 40, whatever. I don't know how long they're doing it. They're not washing that phone.
No.
And then they're holding it to the side of their face and touching it with their fingers all day long.
How do you go to the bathroom?
Doom scroll, I guess.
Hemorrhoids are a group of veins in the rectum and outside the anus that can swell in a large due to increased pressure, which can create itchiness, discomfort, pain, and bleeding, okay?
In my bathroom, there's a big bottle of Lysol. Will somebody run in there and get that for me?
Yep.
By the way, you may want to think about adding that AJ drop of him, I need to go to the bathroom, right as you guys kick off doom scrolling.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'll let Sam know about this article. He'll probably be on board.
Because that's where people
We're going to start doing the shows from our bathroom.
Live from our toilets.
We're scrolling, so you don't have to.
Just drop a flush drop in there every just now and then.
You know, yeah. I wonder if you'll even notice if
courtesy flush.
Where's my my toilet sound drops? I know I have like a whole.
You need a really subtle one. Dial that back about 9 dB, so it's just way back there.
Just so it's barely audible.
Yeah.
Right here. Let me.
There.
That is an American Standard toilet right there. Now listen to the end. Listen to the end. There you go.
It's got the little gurgle.
Yeah.
Got the little pressure differential. By the way, on my other show, on occasion, I will drop in. I have an hour-long clip of a smoke detector chirping randomly.
Oh, great.
That I just run in the background the entire time to see who notices.
Does anybody notice?
It's been called out a few times. But
oh, really? Do they say who is it? Do they get angry and think that someone around there is?
It's people who they'll write in and say someone you had on the show the other day clearly has a smoke detector that's beeping at them, but it's like I know a lot of people listen to my other show while they're driving to work, and so I'll play traffic noises at times too.
Yeah, I like doing that too. Like I used to play a lot of sirens, so people think they're being pulled over. I used to do that. Then I did get letters of people complaining, so I stopped that. I try to be sensitive, but yeah, hemorrhoid risk linked to smartphone use on the toilets. A study invited 125 adults undergoing a screening colonoscopy to complete a survey on their toilet habits, including whether they scroll online in the bathroom. The survey also asked questions about straining, fiber intake, and exercise routine, additional factors involving a hemorrhoid risk. Confirmation of hemorrhoids was detected by the endoscopy. 66% of the survey respondents reported regularly using their smartphones on the toilet, which I do. Hey, listen, I do. I scroll on the toilet. I try to get a majority of my work done then. Get it out.
Doing my work. Get on the emails.
Get out my. Got to reply to Slack threads on work. Acknowledge stuff like when I'm on call. You have to reply to people, or else you get demerits. And so I try to.
You get demerits.
Yeah, I have to like so. The SLA that we have at work is like 24 hours, and depending on who's
24 hours to resolution or 24 hours to response.
You got to respond to people within 24 hours, so it feels like you're acknowledging them. And so I try to do that. And it's easy
I'll acknowledge they're having a problem. I'm not going to fix it.
Yeah, that's what it's easy to do on Twitter. It's like I acknowledge you.
You are so important to me. I'm doing this while I'm squeezing.
Well, I don't tell them that, but I
don't have
acknowledge
your mobile signature in your email. It says that
in the bathroom.
Do while I'm on the can
in the bathroom. Those who did spend significantly more time on the toilet than people who left their smartphones outside the bathroom, they had an increase in hemorrhoids. About 54% of respondents using their phones to read the news, while 44% spent their time on social media. Well, it looks like we have a lot of news readers on the toilet.
And that's garbage, and you know it, and they know it. That's what they're like. No. I'm reading the news. I'm doing important things. No, you're not. You're scrolling.
You're playing Angry Birds, trying to get to the next level.
They are doom scrolling Instagram, TikTok. What's the other? The Facebook minutes or whatever.
You got Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok, and then you have YouTube Shorts. That's what they're doing.
That's the other one. Yeah.
And maybe if you're
Reels.
If you're over the age of 50. You're on Facebook Marketplace.
You're on Facebook.
Facebook Marketplace, specifically.
Marketplace.
You're looking for good deals.
Hey, that's a good truck cap there. I'm going to buy that one.
You can find some good deals in the Marketplace.
3 snow tires? Huh, those might fit the truck. I don't know. That one, it's damaged. That's a good price for 2 of them anyway. I'm gonna send him an offer.
I love like all these assholes on Facebook Marketplace. They're trying to sell me an amp at basically retail value. Like BS, dude. Don't sell me a guitar amp at retail value. And they do the same thing on reverb.com. And it's like they'll like it's like $50 left in retail value. It's like, what's the point? Like it's used. I'm going on Facebook for used prices, not next to retail prices. And you try to talk them down, they're a bunch of liars. And I've had it with that place. So a lot of experts' consensus is 3 minutes per bowel movement, but everyone is different. 3 minutes per bowel movement. I don't know about that. 3 minutes per bowel movement. It doesn't seem long enough for me.
2? Maybe 4?
4 max. Okay. Setting a timer can be helpful if you're prone to mindless scrolling. So, okay, I need a toilet timer now like they have in China. So now I got to take a phone and a timer into the bathroom with me? I don't know if that's practical. They also recommended checking in with yourself after 2 TikTok videos to see whether you're having a productive toilet session.
But there's like a benchmark?
Yeah. So after 2 TikTok videos, you got to check in with yourself. Look deep within your soul and check in to see how your toilet experience is really going. If the magic isn't happening, it's better to get up and try again later. than to sit and wait on the toilet bowl.
What about straining? Can I do straining? Because they said that was in the survey.
Doesn't look recommended.
What if you really force it?
I know. You're going to blow out a ring.
You'll blow your O-ring.
Yeah, you don't want... Never force. Just let it happen, people. Well, yes, this is concerning, but it sounds about right for our culture. So,
this comment here, I do find this...
Is there CNN
consensus? Comments? The consensus is 3 minutes per movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds about right.
That to me seems like people are forcing it.
Yeah.
Don't believe the 5.6.
Yeah, 5.6 seems better.
Yeah, sounds about right. I can see that. All right, Gretchen, let's see what else you got over there. Come on.
All right.
But he likes China. I like the USA.
Just because it's on my screen here and I mentioned it, I brought this up just for you. Some Ohio utility news.
Yeah. I hope you dump a lot.
Ohio utility news. Oh yes, utilities are going up, people. Ohio bill would let utilities reduce customer thermostat water heat usage.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this
one. Wait a second.
I don't. I don't have mixed emotions. I have very strong emotions about this one.
So an Ohio lawmaker wants to reintroduce an electricity peak demand program for small commercial and residential consumers, which would likely flatten their current bills and could create further financial incentives down the line, he said.
That's a lie.
Yeah. So under the peak demand program in House Bill 427, utilities might raise a consumer's thermostat on hot days of the year or recycle their use of certain appliances like laundry or dishwashing. How are they going to do that? How are they going to cycle our use?
So they've done this in California. They've done this in Oregon. They've done this in Washington. Done this in a number of other states. They come onto your property, and sometimes it gets mandated where it's not even a voluntary program anymore. They come onto your property, install a smart meter. It allows them to connect to your first of all, they have to pull different circuits, so they'll rewire houses and whatnot. And a lot of newer homes are built this way already, so that higher voltage appliances that have a heavier draw, air conditioners, they don't ever mess with cooking or refrigerator stuff, but your dishwasher, your washing machine, etc., are on certain circuits. And so when they claim they are having peak demand or they're running into issues on the grid, apparently they will just turn those things off. So what they'll say is,
I can't use them.
Correct. We have a heat wave in Ohio right now. All week it's going to be 98. Everyone's running their air conditioner. Mike, we turned yours off because we're experiencing peak demand.
This is bullshit.
That is exactly right. Now, if you're smart, you can hire an electrician you pay them under the table, and they will go wire that to the same circuit that can't be turned off. But, by the way, if anyone's curious, a lot of utilities also hate you buying solar panels and connecting it to your system because they don't want that touching their shit. Anyway, so this is basically this methodology to control people, because we heard about this when there was this unprecedented heat wave this summer in parts of the Northeast, where it gets hot every summer. But now there are people complaining that they don't have air conditioning because apparently air conditioning is now a human right. I lived without air conditioning for probably 20-some years.
Yeah,
yes,
a good chunk of my 20s, like my 20s. I would say all of my 20s, like right in college, out of college, no air conditioning, living on the second, third floor. It was horrible, but you deal with it sometimes.
And you died, so there you go. But this is them now. And this is the same thing you see with their claims about grid usage for electric cars. How long until they shut that shit off?
Yeah.
So, there's a hurricane coming? Yeah, we've turned off all the electric car charging circuits in your houses, so you can't get more than 20 miles anyway, so great. They talk about AI dragging down a lot of the capability on the grid. Is that true or not?
I think so.
We saw this in California 20 years ago with Enron and the rolling blackouts that everyone there just accepted.
Yep.
And then after they changed utility management, all of a sudden that doesn't happen anymore. How's that work?
Tell you don't do it.
So it's clearly manipulated stuff, and this guy's a piece of shit.
Well, listen to this quote. if we want to attract more businesses to Ohio, if we want to have the data centers here, if we don't want rolling blackouts, we're going to have to look for a number of creative things. We can just build more power plants, you know?
Nope, can't do that. Yeah, you have states like, so I remember, this was years ago, I remember seeing a local news story in Portland talking about they wanted to shut down all their hydroelectric and all that stuff because they have big rivers out there in Oregon that provides electricity. They want to get rid of that. And somebody asked, well, would we still be able to generate the same amount of power? Do we need to build more power plants? And they said, oh, well, this would be, removing these power plants would be paired with conservation.
Oh,
which
great.
if you read between the lines means
you use
less power.
Yeah.
And
don't you ever do that. Don't you ever.
No one's going to not use electricity. They're going to, what that means, they'll just shut it off for you.
Yep. They just want, this is, I can't believe a Republican is introducing this crap.
Yeah, this guy's a piece of shit all the way around. So anyone who is, what's this guy's name? Roy Klopfenstein. Yeah, don't vote for that guy.
Yeah, I'm going to write to him and say, this is bad. This is like part of like the green initiative. We just need to build more power plants, especially if we are going to live in like an AI society, which requires a lot of power. We shouldn't have to foot the bill for that, but we are, because they're creating more demand on a finite amount of power produced by the power plants, and so the utility bills are going up, and they're going to go up anyways, because I think there are a number of bills in different states allowing private equity firms to come in and buy public utility, which I think is a big mistake.
And that's a big part of it. They a lot of these states want data centers in their states because it's the current hot thing. In 5 years, no one's going to give a crap, but it's the current hot thing to have these big AI generated data centers in your state. It doesn't really bring jobs in. It just brings kind of like a level of prestige. But to your point, they're not building new power plants. So they need that power for somebody else. So in order to guarantee a level of service, you mentioned SLAs earlier, so the same idea. In order to guarantee a certain level of service for these enterprise-grade AI data centers, they're going to turn off the power at your house.
Yeah, they are. Somebody in the chat said, no, face the screen, that's it. They're taking the power from the people to entice technocrats to build in Ohio. Probably. They already have, I believe, one Amazon data center here. They want to build more. I suspect there's probably some kickbacks from JD and his technocratic buddies.
Probably?
Probably. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying it is not going to help the average Ohioan, because prices are already going up around here. And Ohio is not a wealthy state. It's not. It's very hickish. There's a lot of rednecks here. Okay? We don't got a lot of money.
It's very hickish.
It is. It is almost Kentucky in most of it. Like, if you go to southern Ohio, where Ohio meets West Virginia and Kentucky, I commonly refer to it as pardon my French, the asshole of Appalachia. But you go there,
That's where Mothman lives.
It is. It's pretty much Mothman and Kentucky Goblin area. It is more southern than a lot of southern parts of the country. And it is, there's a vast swath of poverty in Ohio. And to raise electric on everyone just because we want to have data centers here, and I don't think they're going to bring that many jobs. Not really.
They're not going to bring jobs, no. There'll be construction jobs to build it for about a year, and then your operating is, go look at data centers now. Go to Google Maps, look up these massive data centers. There's like 8 cars parked out front because that's all they need to run it.
Yes, pretty much. I think the data center here in Ohio that Amazon has, I think they employ 42 employees. Like, what I'm talking about, like infrastructure engineers. We're talking about actual nerds with glasses on in pocket protectors. Now, there's probably maintenance staff and other things like that, but it doesn't require a lot. And I don't know how much they're paying. Maybe $100K, maybe. And the reason why they want to come to Ohio, because they can pay their workforce less. And there are highly skilled people around here because we have a lot of universities in Ohio. We got a ton of stuff in Ohio.
We got a lot of milk.
That is true. We do have a lot of dairy farms in Ohio.
Milk University. Yep. That's where I went to school.
All right, enough bitching. I'm going to contact this guy and tell him he's a big fat pants, fat head.
But I just brought this up because I saw the utilities thing. But this is something, if it's not coming to your state already, everyone listening, it will be soon.
It's happening, people.
Yep. They will turn off the battery.
It's all officially happening.
You want some follow-up news on the Annabelle doll?
Yes, and there's nothing I want more. That's all I've been thinking about.
Wake up in the middle of the night. What about that doll?
Well, yeah, because it's under new ownership, I believe.
Yep, and this is a story about Dan Rivera.
Dan Rivera, paranormal investigator who died on tour with the Annabelle doll, suffered a heart attack. That's not good.
Okay.
Yeah. The 54-year-old guy died on July 13th in an allegedly haunted house while handling the infamous doll believed to be demonically possessed and the subject of the hit movie The Conjuring. Yes, Dan Rivera, paranormal investigator who died suddenly in Pennsylvania earlier this summer while on tour with the haunted Annabelle doll, was a victim of a heart attack, officials said on Thursday. Well, I think it's just a curse. Before I read, on Doomscrolling, Sam and I played this trailer for a movie where the feature guy in the movie, he's going around the world talking to shaman and witch doctors, asking them to put a curse on him because he wants to see if curses and the supernatural are real. I think it comes in a variety of different ways. It might not be as overt as a lot of skeptics want it to be, but I think this is an example of it, this Annabelle thing. When you start messing around with these dark forces, they are going to start messing back with you. Yeah, so Dan Rivera was handling Annabelle, a doll that is believed to be possessed by evil spirits and the subject of the hit movie The Conjuring, when he died on July 13th in Gettysburg. It's also a very haunted place there in Gettysburg. So Adams County Coroner Francis Dutrow made it clear that Rivera had a history of heart problems and no foul play was suspected. Well, we never accused Annabelle the doll of putting her doll hands around Dan and strangling him. That's not what we're insinuating with this. We're just saying bad things, bad luck befalls people who mess around with these demonic dolls. That's it.
Well, and especially something that's pretty well accepted to be cursed.
Yeah.
Or possessed, maybe is a better way to phrase it.
Just the belief itself can carry a lot of weight. Quote, the cause of death has been determined to be cardiac related. No, it's not to say that Dan wouldn't have died of a heart attack later on in life. It just so happens that he died while handling the doll. And so maybe it happened a little sooner than expected. The cause of death had been determined to be cardiac related and is ruled a natural death. That is a great cover for Annabelle. It's hands clean for Annabelle.
Case closed. Time to move on.
Exactly. Case closed. Time to move on.
Case closed. Time to move on.
Mr. Rivera had a known history of cardiac issues, which were consistent with the findings. Well, that's exactly what they want you to think.
That's what they want you to think.
Exactly. You're falling for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Annabelle is not directly responsible for Rivera's death, according to the coroner. Well, of course he's going to say that. Because if
he doesn't want to be next, yeah.
He's never investigated supernatural occurrences like this. You got to bring in some hardcore psychics. You got to bring in people with the psychic ability of object read, total recall. We're talking about 10th level telepaths, and to really get in here and interrogate Annabelle as to whether or not Dan irritated Annabelle in any way whatsoever. If you're not handling these objects with care and caution, they'll take advantage of you.
I just want to know what the Ghost Bros think.
Well, the Ghost Bros would not go in. I don't think they would go in the same room with this thing. These guys know way better because we know what they say.
So anytime two or more bros see something at the same time, it's got to be a fact.
Exactly. They're not going to mess around with this crap. Oh, so it's not talking about the new owner. So, while Dan was on tour with us, the comedian Matt Rife, I believe, is now the owner.
Yeah, we had a story on that.
Yeah, is now the owner. So, and I said God knows what's going to happen to Matt at this point. You know, he's a healthy young comedian. We'll see. We'll see how his life goes. We'll see. Fingers crossed he's okay. We're going to move on.
Whoa. All right. Let's so speaking of politicians, and there is video of this happening. Let me get this right link here for you. So this guy was before the city council, and he wanted to make a statement. You know, that's what the public comes up and shares their thoughts, and he had an interesting way of expressing his feelings.
Okay.
And there's video of it.
Okay. This comes from CBS Chicago.
Even though it happened in New Jersey, that's still...
So this is interstate news.
Well, it's that weird thing where the CBS feed gets shared around, and so it's, yeah.
Man breakdances at New Jersey town hall meeting on property taxes.
Look at your child.
Okay, and there's a video of this, so we will see. Maybe this is interpretive dance is what he is going for.
No,
here.
This is straight up popping and locking.
Oh, really? He's just doing some straight up b-boy shit. Okay, so there is a news story here. I'm gonna play it. Let me get this up on screen. I want to see how the news commentators talk about this. Oh my God! I got to get my shield is down.
Oh, this, by the way, this Chicago news website, CBS News Chicago, whatever. After that video played, it like rolled me out of the story into another one.
Oh, they want to keep these stories going, man.
They want to get some doom scrolling going here.
They do. Here we go. Let's see if I can get this locked up.
Meeting in New Jersey takes an interesting turn when the speaker made a very unique argument. That is town council candidate Will Philly breakdancing in protest of property tax hikes last night. No surprise.
Look at that guy.
The onlookers didn't really quite know what to make of it.
He's doing a helicopter.
Locals say Philly has a track record of unconventional town hall appearances. It looks like it's not a habit he'll be breaking anytime soon. Now, let me tell you, okay, if you're a journalist, you go to a lot of these meetings.
Yeah.
And they can be boring. But if I saw that...
You're locked in. You're ready to go.
I'd be like, that's today's handoff, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
The Goblin.
Verify.com is able to
Hey, roll me right into it,
car
Greg.
insurance.
Yep. I'm going to give you an alternate one. Here's another local news story from another perspective. This guy's a little more descriptive, I guess.
I would, and why wouldn't they interview the dancer after this? Like, what?
By the way, for those just listening later to this or listening right now, but listening to just the audio, this guy's not bad at breakdancing.
He's okay.
It's not like he's just making a fool of himself.
This guy should have been in the Olympics, you know? He
breakdances better at this town council meeting than the people at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Whatever her name was. Olympic lady.
Rachel Reagan.
Woo!
Yeah. All right, this is ABC 7.
Town hall meetings can go off the rails. We've seen it before. And in New Jersey, the town of Cranford is now in the spotlight after a city council candidate pulled out some breakdancing moves right here to protest property taxes. For those of you who don't know, he got on the floor. I did not know that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that is Will Tilley. And town members, they're very familiar with his antics.
Why did our taxes go up so much? We were told the referendum was going to bring it up for an average household about $400, I think. And mine went up like $900. What extra expenses were incurred by the schools that weren't told to the public when we voted on that referendum?
Oh, he's spraying his head. He's dancing.
Yeah, you see that there.
Happening?
After Philly moonwalked away, one official thanked him for the interpretive dance. But this is the thing is, now we know what's happening with property taxes in Cranford. We would have no idea if it wasn't for him popping these moves. So maybe it's effective.
Is brilliant. He knew exactly what he was doing. Doesn't he remind you of, was she from Australia?
Oh, the breakdancer, ray gun or something. I think her name is Ray Gun. Yeah, that was you know what? I would love to see them two go head to head because they both dance the same.
No, she's
this guy's better.
Yeah, his guy's better.
A little bit.
He's got style and he's got a message. Yeah, hey, property taxes, man.
What if this headline said, instead of just man breakdances during town hall meeting, what if it said Olympic gold medal winner breakdances during town hall meeting?
I love it. In property tax protest. It is a unique way. You know, and to his credit, he got attention to bring a lot of eyes to the plight of increased property taxes. And there's a lot of people there on fixed incomes, and they can't afford this property tax increase. I don't know why they just don't, instead of raising property taxes, take it to a local sales tax. I think everyone wins at that point. Instead of pricing these old people out of their homes, which is what they want to do. They hate old people.
Well, they also like property taxes because that's guaranteed income, or guaranteed revenue, rather, than sales tax.
Yeah, and sales tax, you can always go to the black market to get your groceries. Black market groceries, people. Oh, I don't even think they're allowed to put sales tax like on groceries. I don't think you're allowed to.
A lot of states and municipalities do not tax groceries and some other things.
Nice. All right, win.
But some do.
All right. That's not bad. I kind of like that. All right, let's move on, Cratchit. Got to get some more stories. Hey, we got to talk about the astronaut scam.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll bring that one up here.
Got to do it.
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
All right, so here is the one I pulled, I think it was last week. Do you want to run your multimedia presentation after this?
No, I'll just tag it on at the end of the episode. You know, I did a little song about this. People can listen at the end of the show if they want a
Japanese grunge song.
A Japanese grunge interpretation of this news story, which I'm sure they do.
Breakdancing in the background.
Yeah, with a little interpretive dance in the background. Here's a headline here. Woman duped by romance scammer posing as astronaut in distress.
I love that headline.
Yeah, it's all too common, but a Japanese octogenarian.
Octogenarian.
Yeah, I got that one right. Look at that.
Okay.
Was somebody in their 80s.
Oh, okay. Was swindled out of thousands of dollars after falling in love online with a self-described astronaut who sought her help to avert a spaceship crisis, police said Tuesday. Likely story. She's a very caring person. She didn't want to
She's a hero.
She didn't want to see an astronaut in distress. No one does. After some exchanges, the hapless woman in Japan's northern...
hapless.
Yeah, that's kind of like you don't want to say that to a woman. You're hapless. The hapless woman... in Japan's one of Japan's northern island met.
Oh, come on. You're going to run right past it?
Yes.
Hokkaido. I wanted you to run right into that one.
I will attempt to read them from henceforth, okay? Japan's northern Hokkaido island met the fraudster in July on social media who claimed to be a male astronaut, a local police officer told the AFP, describing the case as a romance scam. After some exchanges, the scammer one day told her he was in space on a spaceship right now, but was under attack and in need of oxygen, the official said. The scammer then urged her to pay him online to help buy him oxygen and successfully hoodwinked around 1 million yen, or $6,700 American dollars, out of her. Man, this works. I mean, I can't believe they got they hoodwinked this poor hapless Japanese woman.
I'm upset by this.
The logic behind this. Okay, this guy's in space. He's running out of oxygen. I'm going to order oxygen from Amazon and send it to him. What is?
Well, you just order it, Amazon delivers up there. You know,
they probably do at this point.
Yeah, they're pretty capable, and they got the Blue Origin. So they can fire up some rockets up there.
Oh, they can fly past, and the guy will just lazily throw it at your spaceship.
Yeah, why not?
And then take a picture of your phone.
There it goes. There it goes.
It's your oxygen.
Yeah. The woman lives alone and started developing feelings for him as their online communications progressed. Local media included Hadako Broadcasting said, quoting investigative sources, quote, if a person you met on social media ever demanded cash from you, please be suspicious of the possibility of a scam and report them to the police. Okay. Yeah, I gotta agree with him there.
I really need some money. That's all I'm telling you. I hope somebody gives it to me. I got big problems.
Yeah, I'm out of oxygen.
That was literally what he said.
I'm out of oxygen.
I want to find more information on this story. How did he pitch this to her that he needs money for oxygen in space?
See here. Japan has the world's second oldest population after Monaco. Got that one. According to the World Bank, the older people frequently fall prey to various forms of organized fraud. These include the classic "It's Me" scam, where perpetrators impersonate family members to impersonate family members in trouble to extract money from the victim. So, okay, hey, mom, it's me. I need some money. And they do this now with AI voicing. So it's been done before.
Voices.
Yeah.
But somebody better give me some money.
Do you think the aggressive mode would work?
I think you can go goblin mode on some old people and they'll just give you money.
Money, 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 money.
Elderly people
wouldn't he try the other one? Give me money and
I see.
Give me money. Give me bitch.
There you go.
That sometimes work. This will work.
Give me money. I kill you.
That works on old people. They're scared to death.
Next one.
Yeah, that takes it to the next level.
Give me your credit card or I'll murder you.
It also says it says here elderly people can be cajoled into using an ATM to get non-existent refunds from insurance premiums or pensions. Police have warned. This AOL article, by the way, is reading like a how-to guide. I didn't realize
the following scams don't work. This one does.
Yeah, I didn't realize how pliable and malleable these old people really are to these scams. They got a variety of tactics. Romance scammers drain billions of dollars from people seeking love, and their tactics have evolved in sinister ways online. More than 64,000 Americans were taken for over $1 billion in romance scams in 2023. Holy crap. Double the $500 million just 4 years earlier, according to the Federal Trade Commission. About half the people who are using dating sites say they've come across somebody who's tried to scam them, according to Rep. Brittany Patterson, a Colorado Democrat who says tech platforms need to do a better job of protecting their users. Or we just got to get a little bit more savvy as a populace and realize no one loves you. Okay?
There's like 27,000 versions of this story, and no one will explain how this guy, what he was saying to try to convince her he needed money for oxygen.
I also read in the story I had, it says he was also looking for money not only for oxygen, but landing fees.
Well, there was an earlier one from 2022. There's a story about a Russian astronaut who hoodwinked a Japanese woman that he needed landing fees.
Oh, that's where I read that one.
Merged together.
Well, that makes sense. They charge you a lot of money to land those rockets. So that one makes sense.
And if you don't pay when you land, they make you go back into space.
Go back up. You got no clearance to land here. Oh, man. Yeah, it's sad. But it's no different than the Nigerian prince scams that were happening 15 years ago.
I think they still happen.
There's a lot of princes out there.
Anymore.
A lot of Nigerian princes out there, people.
Yeah, well, that was the ever popular. I have some money trapped in a bank.
Yes.
If you help me get that out, I'll give you a cut.
Yeah, basically, you send me $5,000 and I'll give you like $12 million, which is a great deal. It's a great investment.
Deal.
That's a great investment.
Anyone who gets that one, you take that.
It's hard to say no. It's almost too good to be true. And I've seen reports on this. There are even like highly educated people that fall for this. And when they interviewed some of these people, And the reason why they continue to be scammed is that they don't want to believe that they were scammed. So they continue to give money in the hopes that they will be proved right that this person was not lying to them because they have advanced degrees and they don't want to feel like they have become a victim. So they'll just continue giving money to basically make themselves feel not like a victim. It's a weird psychological thing.
Yeah, very much so. It's also sunk cost fallacy. I'm this far into it. I'm going to see it through. But
yeah.
We're doing it.
Yes.
Al Gore's big on that one.
He loves it. All right, let's see what else you got over there. Come on.
Stan?
All right, let's go with this one. This is in your realm. This is about cybersecurity.
Oh, boy.
Let me know if you can read this article or do you get
paywalled.
Let's see. I have an archive link I'll put in Carrot Chop as well.
Oh, paywalled. I'm hacked.
Okay. Archive link is in there.
I'm hacked. Let me see here. Bring this up on screen for everyone, please. At Singapore's anti-fraud convention, even the experts get scammed.
Oh, really?
You got to be careful. There are like people out there that will just like, oh yeah, you think you're that good, buddy? Got to take you down a peg.
This is like people who go to Black Hat and then join the random ass Wi-Fi.
It happens all the fucking time. Pardon my language, but people who go to Black Hat and they're just like, oh, I'm going to join this. I'm going to join this free public Wi-Fi. Come on. As the world's leading expert on preventing cyber fraud met in Singapore this past week, conference attendees were offered a chance to queue jump by scanning a QR code. More than 50 people fell for the mock scan set up by organizers to raise awareness of squishing or QR phishing attacks.
There's no S in that. There's no S.
Yeah, there is.
No, at the beginning you said squishing.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Cushing?
I think it's just quishing.
Quishing. I said squishing, yeah. Cushing. Or QR phishing attacks, where hackers trick victims into exposing personal data to malicious websites. Quote,
or trick you into sending money to an astronaut in space.
Yeah, that can work too.
Okay.
Don't worry, your mobile phone was not infected with malware, and we are not sharing your credit card details.
Yet.
Jory Abraham, Managing Director of Global Anti-Scam Alliance. Wow, Anti-Scam Alliance. He reassured attendees. But it does mean that everyone, even you, can be scammed. The online scamming industry is growing quickly, with fraudsters stealing about $1 trillion a year. Well, we're giving, here in America, we're just giving $1 billion. Southeast Asia is the hotbed for such fraudulent activity, with industrial scam centers in Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos, staffed by hundreds of thousands of traffic workers targeting victims around the world. So wait, these people get trafficked and enslaved, and they're commanded to scam other people around the world, basically to pay off their trafficking debt?
Yeah, so a lot of these call centers, where you see photos of people working in these rooms that just have thousands and thousands of computers and phones in there. A lot of that is based on human trafficking to pay off that debt. Yeah. It's not necessarily the ones who get you on the phone. That's kind of old school and that's very resource intensive. These are ones who are blasting you with a spam email, spam text, all that stuff.
Yeah. See, Southeast Asia is unfortunately ground zero for this, said Raphael Frankel, Director of Public Policy for the region at Meta. He said the owner of Facebook, the social media platform favored by fraudsters, has been working with police in Thailand to close some scam compounds over the border in Myanmar. Well, Facebook is like nonstop fraud. It really is. Like people hacking your account, putting up scam items on the marketplace. It's all BS. It all sucks. But I still go on there.
This stuff sucks.
Still looking for a deal.
I'm still looking for a good deal on an amp or a Telecaster. Let's see here. How's this end? Does it end on a good note? This is a long article for us, so I mean that's good.
Well, it's from the Financial Times. They're gonna.
Let's see here. Cybersecurity and tech companies exhibited a range of measures to fight back, including fraud and money laundering detection tools, as well as software to help banks spot suspicious transfers. Okay, so more tools you got to buy, business-to-business transactions. So you got to protect your.
Well, yeah, because they'll go after big accounts. They'll send false invoices. They'll like create stuff to get your PO, but they'll get the purchase order sent to the wrong address or something like that. They love doing stuff through ACH, which is why a lot of businesses still want to pay invoices via check. Yeah, because there's still that like stopgap of I'm going to print this out. It's going to be mailed to you, and we need an address and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
which I get it. While we talk of what tech can do to combat scams, I'm sure the scamsters are meeting in some sort of forum on the dark web, having similar discussions and using the same tech that we believe is going to help us. It's pervasive. Yeah, it's a never-ending, constant battle of scams and flams, no doubt.
Scams, flams, flim-flams.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
It's awful.
Except that astronaut, he needs oxygen. That's legit.
That's real. That guy's going to die. We got to get him oxygen.
What's the logic behind that? Hi, random person on Facebook. Can you send me money so I can go buy more oxygen?
I'm running out of air. I'm running out of air, please. Which it's possible. It's possible. Okay. One last story, Cratchit. Let's do it.
One.
Welcome to my world.
You want some good news about AI?
Yeah, I would. Because we've had nothing but bad news.
Okay. AI generally is bad news. Here's some good news. If Joe was here, he could probably speak more to this.
Okay.
Because one of Joe's common complaints is people just use these automated programs to design, kind of low quality artwork and low quality designs and things like that.
Correct.
But here's a ray of sunshine, a ray of hope in that market.
Humans are being hired to make AI slop look less sloppy.
That's some good news on that front.
Yeah, I can see that. It does take a human touch. And this is what No Agenda kind of complains about with the artwork for their shows, is that there is a lack of human touch when it comes to all this AI-related stuff. Mm-hmm. And it does take a human to kind of put your creativity into it and take it to the next level, which people don't really like to do. But the same technology that was supposed to put graphic designer Lisa Karsten out of business is now keeping her busier than ever. Karsten's a longtime freelance based in Spain, spends a good portion of her day working with startups and individual clients looking to fix their botched attempts at AI-generated logos. The illustrations clients... I guess that's what it says. The illustration's clients, I guess it means illustrator. The illustrator's clients brings
that's just a poorly worded sentence. He said basically, so the artwork that clients bring to her, they're missing a word in there.
Well, here's verbatim. This is what I'm reading. The illustration's clients bring to her are commonly littered. Oh, I see. The illustrations clients bring to her are commonly littered with unclean lines and nonsensical text, and they look like a mess of pixels when blown up beyond a certain size. Yes, that happens because they're not really super high res. Not a lot of them.
I was going to say, and that's probably one of the good things. I know that the AI, especially the artwork generators, they do it at lower resolution because it's less power required to generate that. You don't have to make as large an image, as detailed an image. But that's also probably good because you can't make one of those and then blow it up to put on the side of a building or a side of a big artwork. It's not going to look good. The resolution isn't there. The bit depth isn't correct.
Well, I got to tell my my stepdaughter about this because I told her, you get used to using AI and manipulating it. Like, get good with Photoshop and Illustrator. There is a demand. You got to know how to use this stuff, and you got to know how to fix it. And so there is a good niche for this. Quote: there's people that are aware AI isn't perfect, and then there's people that come to you angry because they didn't manage to get it done themselves with AI. And you kind of have to be empathetic. You don't want them to feel like idiots. Then you have to fix it. Okay? Yeah. Such gigs are part of a new category of work spawned by generative AI boom that threaten to displace creative jobs across the board. Anyone can now write blog posts, produce a graphic, or code an app within a few prompts, but AI-generated content rarely makes for a satisfying final product on its own. I agree. You got to do something. Like, we use AI Slop all the time for, like, artwork for, like, the podcast. So people subscribe to the podcast audio. Typically, there is an image that represents something we talked about during the show, and it's fun for that. Like, it's great.
In fact, your last one, you said these images will make more sense to you after you listen to the show.
Yeah, and so there's a benefit for us for like quick hits, but for like professional brands, professional businesses, yeah, you gotta go put some energy in. You gotta do some work. Unfortunately, you do.
Do some work.
So how this ends? Freelancers saw a surge in demand this year for humans in writing, branding, design, and video production, including requests for emotionally engaging content like heartfelt speeches. I mean, quote, the fastest way to get dumped is to send a love letter to your girlfriend or boyfriend and use ChatGPT to write it. Matt Berry, CEO of Freelancers, said of the phenomenon. And it's that same thing for brands. The market knows when something has been fully produced by AI and there's an immediate visceral reaction to it. So that's true. So they're not saying AI is bogus. It's just they need you, the artist, to make it better.
Yeah. Well, and the same thing with writing. So a friend of mine, he's working on some research project, and he quote unquote wrote an article, and he sent it to me. He said, "Hey, can you take a look at this and see what, any changes to make or any suggestions?" It was AI slop 100% through and through and through. It was like almost nonsensical. It didn't have a coherent kind of mode all the way through. It made some initial points at the beginning, which were immediately contradicted 3 paragraphs later. The formatting, the text, some of the phrasing, it was not his voice. I've known him for 10 plus years. So the person. This was not something he wrote. I tried to help as much as I can, kind of trying to clean up some of the phrasing, some of it, but it's like, as AI art makes bad artists think they're good, just like AI text generation makes people who can't write think that they can. And so they will just churn out, hey, write me an article here's my 2 paragraphs of notes. I'm doing this. This is what I did. Here's my thoughts on it, et cetera, et cetera. And it will spit out 5 pages on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. But people who don't know, I'm not an artist. So when I see the AI art, I find it hilarious and I enjoy it, but I know it's not good. But it's like, I'm not a good artist.
It's good enough.
But I'm a good writer. And when people send me AI slop, I'm like, this was 100% wall-to-wall AI trash.
Yep.
This is really bad.
It is. And what it says to me is not necessarily that it's not worth the value that's being put into it. It's that the person didn't spend any time on it. Mm-hmm. That's what it says. Yep. This was worth 10 minutes of their time instead of somebody who wrote even a short article, 5, 6, 7 pages, that's really well done, well researched, well sourced, that took them, several days or a week to write. But
shame on you.
Did you write that back to your friend? You just
shame on you.
Actually, literally what I told him, I said, he sent me the thing and I just looked at the text, and within like 8 seconds I responded, I was like, this is 100% AI slop.
Yeah.
He pushed
What's
back
going
hard.
on
He was
here?
like, no, these are our notes. This is what we did. I'm like, no, this is AI slop through and through. And that's fine, but don't pitch it as though you spent the time writing this because you did it.
Yeah. Don't be a liar. Just tell us. It's fine.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm with you.
AI makes funny pictures and funny songs.
It certainly does.
And we have 2 at the end of the show, right?
Yeah, I think we had 2 songs. We have Mike's Power and then the Astro Scam. Astro Scam number 4.
I'm just going to pee in here.
Good Lord.
People can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com, and there's ways to support the show on there. I got to update the links over there on that website and update the newsletter, which I haven't sent out a newsletter.
And the merch link.
Yeah, and the merch link. I got to take that down, and I just got to update the merch. I got a lot of admin stuff I just got to do. I basically have been on call for it feels like half a year, and something's got to give. It's breaking me.
What'd you do?
I like you're acknowledging people's support requests while you're on the turlet.
Yeah, I do. That's where I have time. I basically worked 14 hours past few days for my full-time job. And it breaks you. And I feel like I'm not getting any sleep. It feels like I'm being abducted by UFOs. Even though I'm probably not, but it feels that way. And
You just don't have like a carbon monoxide leak in your house, do you?
I don't know. That's a good question. I do have a carbon monoxide detector, I thought, but maybe it's broken. Maybe. I got to check. Maybe it's broken.
You've had that much
Computer's
trouble
broke.
sleeping multiple nights. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been consistent. This past week has been not good. Not good for sleep.
The Goblin.
I'm reading a book called The Goblin Universe. Maybe I'll talk about that when I'm done.
Is it about goblins?
It's about one man's quest to understand this paranormal reality we live in. It's he initially started his quest trying to get proof of the Loch Ness Monster, and that quest has taken him into multiple different areas of the paranormal and the supernatural. It's fascinating so far, but we'll talk about that later. Thank you, Cratchit. Thank you, everyone. Shabla go.
Keep watching the skis. That dude up there needs oxygen.
Dave, have you done anything to prevent this? They got people around. Time for the shot. I'm scared of you, sir. Protect myself. That is all I'm doing.
Join my team. I'll suck your dick.
The tortilla is great. The al pastor is tender. It's got a ton of flavor. There's a good amount of char on this. The marinade comes through. The little piece of pineapple on top is key.
You're killing it with this.
That's about all.
Shablagu. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
Hey, it's Gary Busey. Yeah, you dumb punks don't think I can run Skinwalker Ranch. You ever seen the movie Point Break and what I did with that, or Predator 2 and how I won against that alien predator? I laid down a bunch of traps. And then, as the predator approached, I jumped and I got on top of that predator. If anybody can figure out Skinwalker Ranch, it's Gary Busey.